I'm Paul Hogrogian, President of the National Postal Mail Handlers Union. It is February 25th, and we are at Postal Headquarters, where we just opened up formal negotiations for our 2016 collective bargaining agreement. Both sides introduced their team members and read their opening statements. The following is a video of the proceedings. On behalf of the National Postal Mail Handlers Union and almost 44,000 mail handlers that our union represents, we are pleased to be here in the Benjamin Franklin Room to open 2016 negotiations with the Postal Service. Although we expect a difficult round of bargaining, the NPMHU is committed to making every reasonable effort to reach an agreement that is good for our members, good for the Postal Service, and good for the American mailing public. The Postal Service certainly is facing continuing challenges, some caused by economic conditions, others caused by legislative actions or legislative inactions, and still others by technological changes. But the Postal Service also is more stable and more robust than it has been at any time since the Great Recession of 2008. When the parties opened their 2011 round of bargaining, the 2008 recession was still in control. Mail volume and postal revenue were in constant and seemingly irreversible decline. Today, that recession is part of history. Economic growth has returned to the American economy. And the Postal Service is once again operating with significant surpluses in revenue over expenses. When the parties last negotiated in 2011, the Postal Service was seeking substantial reduction in labor costs from bargaining unit employees, represented by the Mail Handlers Union, including substantial numbers of non-career employees earning less money and having fewer benefits than career employees. Some of these proposals actually were awarded to the Postal Service through the 2013 Fish-Gold Arbitration Award. Based on these fundamental changes in our workforce, the Postal Service has reduced its overall labor costs for mail handling activities, and many of those reductions, including a revised wage scale for future career employees, are scheduled to continue into the future. The Postal Service also continues to downsize its complement of mail handlers, with the current number more than 6% fewer than in 2011. The return of normal growth in the American economy and operational surpluses to the Postal Service should mean a return to more normalized collective bargaining. And the Mail Handlers Union remains deeply committed to the negotiating process. Certainly, the NPMHU will continue to work with the Postal Service so that Congress enacts postal reform legislation to obtain relief from mandatory payments into the Retiree Health Benefit Fund, to allow for a more rational investment of the monies already in the fund, to integrate the Postal Service health care system into Medicare, and to expand the mailing and other services that the Postal Service offers to the American public, and to stop unwise closings and consolidations of mail processing facilities. But it is at the bargaining table where most issues belong. We expect and will demand that the Postal Service engage in good faith bargaining on all issues that are properly the subject of mutual bargaining. Today, obviously, is neither the time nor the place for discussing specific proposals. Not only are formal negotiations just beginning, but the Mail Handlers Union does not believe it is productive to negotiate in public, in the newspapers, or in the halls of Congress. Nonetheless, the goals of the National Postal Mail Handlers Union in this year's round of bargaining can be stated simply. We seek a negotiated agreement that protects our jobs and improves our standard of living. We seek a negotiated contract that improves the status of mail handler assistants, who are our newest members and the Postal Service's future career employees. We seek a contract that minimizes the dislocation and inconvenience to mail handlers whose careers may be involuntarily disrupted by accessing or downsizing, and we seek to stop future subcontracting and return currently outsourced work to the mail handler craft. In short, we seek practical solutions to the problems faced by mail handlers, so that working together, we can ensure that the Postal Service and all of its mail handler employees can continue to provide the American public with the service that they have come to expect. In closing, let me state that the National Postal Mail Handlers Union seeks to obtain a fair and just settlement with the Postal Service. We understand that these negotiations will be difficult, but if management makes reasonable proposals and counter-proposals at the bargaining table, we certainly will recommend ratification to our membership. We also hope for and expect the same attitude from postal management, that reasonable proposals from the union will be met with acceptance. If both parties are able to adopt this approach to bargaining, I am optimistic that we will be able to reach a negotiated settlement. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you, Paul. Good morning, everyone. Let me start by thanking Paul for his leadership and specifically his continued partnership as we seek common sense legislation to put the Postal Service on firmer financial footing. I also would like to thank the National Postal Mail Handlers Union for your continued commitment to the Postal Service and to our customers. As we begin negotiations, we do so as strategic partners. Our collective goal is to negotiate a contract that strengthens the Postal Service, enhances our ability to serve our customers, and is fair to our employees. Everyone here today is aware of the enormous challenges facing the Postal Service. Collective bargaining offers us the opportunity to jointly address the cost, the flexibility, and the structure of the mail handler workforce needed in this rapidly changing and increasingly competitive business environment. The decisions we will make over the coming weeks will impact the future success of our organization. And I have faith that the parties will work together, will be reasonable, and that we'll engage in serious and honest discussions with the expectation that we will reach a negotiated agreement. Let me emphasize that we recognize and appreciate the contributions that your union has made in the last round of bargaining. We know there is no question that Postal Service employees have made sacrifices over the past couple of years. They've not gone unnoticed, and they are certainly appreciated. But there is still work to be done. We still face serious financial challenges and a continuing decline in total workload. At the same time, we're adjusting to the highly competitive package market, which will require unprecedented levels of flexibility as we continue to compete to capture more of this business. We're committed to investing in the future of the Postal Service. We're investing in technology and the infrastructure necessary to compete in this dynamic marketplace. We're continuing to invest in employees to ensure that we're providing outstanding service to the American public. Service is foundational and it is key to growth. We have a shared objective, and that is the long-term viability of this great organization. So thank you for your commitment to the future of the Postal Service, and we look forward to productive discussions. Thank you, Paul.
We realize times are tough. We also realize the Postal Service is experiencing economic difficulties. Your negotiating team is up to the challenge. Over the next 3 months, we will work tirelessly to achieve a contract that is fair and just. We ask that you support us and work with us to achieve that goal. Thank you.